Hey, welcome back to Dan's Chess Lounge, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Today I'm going to be bringing you a game from the Wijk aan Zee tournament back in 1989 between the Grandmaster Ivan Sokolov. He was facing off against the former USSR champion Vitaly Tseshkovsky. I hope you all enjoy the game. Sokolov is a well-known expert in the English opening, and in this game he started off with the English c4. e5 is known as, or thought to be, the most direct way of facing the English because you go ahead and occupy space in the center of the board. g3, d6, bishop g2. This is taking control of the long diagonal there. This is the best place for the bishop to be in this type of setup. And black is going to go ahead and do the same thing. He's going to fianchetto his bishop as well. e3, bishop g7, knight e2, and you have h5 here. And I just want to stop for a second and say that, h5 looks like it's just to gain space on the king side here, but really there's an alternative motive behind it. If white does not stop it, black could try to push his pawn all the way up the board and disrupt the white king side. So it's a little bit more venom to the move than what it looks. d4 here. It's common knowledge to strike out in the center, if your opponent is striking on the wings, and vice versa. If you're striking out on the wings, then you should expect your opponent to strike out in the center. So in this case here, it's a decent move, but it might have been better to play some prophylactic moves like h4, maybe stopping black from being able to play h4 himself on the next move, because that's indeed what he does. He plays h4 here, trying to crash through on the white king side. Knight b c3, knight h6, e4. Now this is an attempt here to try to bulk up his center and establish more presence in the center. It's interesting to note here that neither side has castled yet. Bishop g4. Now this move here has the immediate threat of winning the d pawn, and also it has the threat of misplacing some of the pieces on white's king side. Let's see what happens if white ignores the threat and plays, say, b4 next, right? Trying to gain space on the queen side. What black could do is black could play e captures d, and this just flat out loses the pawn, due to the pin on the queen. So if he doesn't play e captures d, he could play h3, and then again this would be disrupting, the white pieces on his king side. And then, bishop there attacking the rook. The rook's going to have to move to g1, and he's going to lose his castling privileges, so it would just be majorly disrupting, the white camp. So he's going to have to do something about, this move, bishop g4. Let's see what he does. He decides to play queen d3 here. Knight d7. This is a good developing move. You want to get all of your pieces into the fight, into the battle. d5. Now that allowed black to jump into the center and immediately attack Sokolov's queen there. If you take a look at the position, you can see that every single move black, is trying to take the initiative, and he's definitely controlling the game by making, white respond and react to every single move. Queen e3. And now you have h3 disrupting the king side. Bishop f1. F5 here. This is a bold move here, considering the light square bishop for black doesn't have very many squares to retreat or go to. So Tseshkovsky is looking deep into this position, and let's see what happens, if white just kind of ignores his threat. So if he plays like bishop d2, hoping to castle long or castle queenside next, black could play f takes e, knight captures, and now you would have knight f5 hitting the queen. So he'll have to vacate the protection of the knight there on e4, and black would simply pick off that knight and win that piece. So that is a real threat there. He plays f3 instead. So he's directly hitting the bishop there. What would you do here if you were black? This is a critical point in the game. Your bishop is under attack. Pause the video, think about it, and give me your best response here for black. What would you do? Okay, I hope you gave it a little thought here. So what Tseshkovsky did is he played f takes e. He's sacrificing his bishop there. And Sokolov obliged. He captured. So what was his plan behind sacrificing his bishop? Knight takes g4, attacking the queen. Where can the queen go? The queen has a few squares that he can retreat to. Let's take a look at some of them. If he plays queen g5 here, then that would lead to knight d3 check. If the king goes to d1, then you have queen captures queen, bishop captures queen, knight df2, and that just wins the rook with a fork. So that idea there doesn't work. If instead of going to d1, if the king went to d2, then you would have queen captures queen, and that simply just loses the queen outright. So that doesn't work. So the queen cannot go to g5. So let's see, where else can the queen go then? What if the queen goes to d2? Well, then you would have bishop h6 hitting the queen. Queen goes to c2. Knight d3 check. King goes to d1. And then you have the devastating knight gf2. And that leads to checkmate. So that is definitely not a good option. The queen cannot go to d2. So where can the queen go then? That means the queen would have to go to g1. And this is a very awkward looking move here. It's very passive. And it seems like white is in a bit of a pickle right now. There's not a lot of good options for him. And think about it, we're only at move 15 in the game. Queen f6. So black is, following good principles and fundamentals by bringing more pieces into the attack. Knight d1. And look at how all of white pieces are on the back rank, or the second rank there. It's terrible. It's never good when all your pieces are going backwards. Knight d3 check. So black has been, patiently waiting to play this devastating move here, knight d3. But it's all about timing. He had to make sure that the timing was right. He had to get, more pieces involved into the game. King d2, queen f3. So here comes the black queen infiltrating the position. So now all the black pieces are swarming around the king there. a3. So here, this is almost like a pass. White just does not have any good moves, really, any good squares. So he just kind of makes the pass, and it kind of reminds me of the game Mortal Kombat, where, they're like, finish me. And this is kind of what white was kind of doing here. Like, he just didn't really have anything good to play. bishop h6 check, king c2. So white has been pushed in kind of like a mating net, and there's not really any good way to escape. So pause the video right here and see if you can find the best continuation for black. I'll give you a hint. It is a mate in 2. Okay, so I hope you all found the best solution here for black. And it is knight b4 check. So white does have a couple of options here. If he plays, pawn captures knight, then you would have queen d3 checkmate. If instead he tries to run with the king to b1, you would still have queen d3 checkmate. So Tseshkovsky played a wonderful attacking game there. So that was really, really good. The lesson to take away, I think, from this game is to never underestimate your opponent's threats. White let black march down the board with his, pawn here, with his H pawn, and he let, black disrupt his camp, his enemy camp. He didn't play any prophylactic moves. So that was a really good, plan there by black. Also, when black offered to sacrifice his bishop, white should not have captured. He should have declined, and he should have went a different route. So taking the bishop allowed, black to open up the F file, and it allowed him to come in with his knight and queen, to attack even further, especially since the white king was undeveloped and still in the center of the board. So there was a lot of good lessons to learn from this game. Well, that's all for today, guys. Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the game. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me help the channel grow. And I will see you all next time. Take care.